What's going on, guys? Ribombee teacher in the house, and I am here with the next episode of Ask Ribombee. This is the third episode in the series. We are here again, where you ask me questions, I answer them, and if you want to know how to get your questions in these videos, down below is a link to my Twitter or my Discord. Discord is preferable, but Twitter is also fine. I had a lot of questions from Twitter this month, which is nice. But in my Discord server specifically, there is a channel called Ask Me Questions. In there, I will put all of them together, even if you ask me them on Twitter. And then at the end of each month, I will put them all together in a series like this. And then I will answer them all for you guys. This time around, there was a lot of questions more about me personally, as opposed to the content, but there are some content questions as well, which I think are really fascinating, so it's absolutely worth answering them. So, let's get straight on into it. Question number 1 is, what's your favorite genre of music? Music-wise, for me, outside of mainstream pop music and country, that I'm not a huge fan of, I listen to pretty much anything. Right now, I tend to listen to metal covers of popular songs. I listen to like Jonathan Young and Caleb Hyles quite a lot. Leah Maracchioli as well. Like, I listen to these guys like all the time. Like, they're always the music I get into. I've been getting into Falling in Reverse recently. I've been liking some of their stuff. So yeah, that's generally what I listen to, but for the most part, I pretty much listen to anything. I have song requests open on all of my streams, so if anyone has any music they want to listen to, they can. I'll probably add it to the playlist as well. I do have a playlist for streaming that I use. It's just a whole bunch of YouTube videos that I've put together to make a list. So if you guys have music that you love listening to, I'll add it, and then it's kind of everybody's music playlist as well as mine, so it's kind of a nice little concept. So yeah, if you're not hanging out on my stream, my Twitch is down below. As always, I stream playthroughs on there, mostly Pixelmon, but I stream other things as well, so definitely get involved in that if you haven't already. Alright, next question is, why do you put the mental health tag on all of your streams? So this came from a relatively new viewer on Twitter who came over to my streams relatively recently from a friend of mine. So it's something that quite a few people who watch me may not know, but I actually suffer from 2 confirmed mental health disorders. I used to take medication for them all the time, but my body's developed antibodies to them, so I actually can't anymore. But yeah, I suffer from social anxiety disorder and disorganized attachment disorder. Those are confirmed. It is suggested I might have other mental health issues as well, but I don't generally know that. I've had symptoms before, but you can never quite tell. But yeah, that's the reason. And part of the reason why I started streaming was to engage with people who suffer like me, because I know it's very easy to kind of sit inside yourself and not really be confident enough to open up. And it's something that streaming has been a platform to help me open up a lot more. I've been able to open up a lot more to some of my closer friends recently, and things like that. And I've been able to talk about myself a lot better. I still struggle with quite a lot of things sometimes. I still struggle with migraines on the daily. My health is very volatile at times, so streaming and recording can be a bit of a challenge. I've had to cancel quite a lot of streams since I started, just because I haven't been able to stream. But yeah, the mental health tag is there because I want people to kind of not feel alone in that. And I kind of want to sort of set that example of, if I can open up and use streaming as a medium and use my knowledge, which is Pokemon mostly, as a medium to support other people, then I will. And I do encourage a lot of people, if they are struggling or if they do need someone to talk to, absolutely message me, DM me through Discord, DM me on Twitter, wherever you're comfortable. I will always answer. I answer my messages a lot, so I'm always there to help, and to be fair, my community is very much the same. I have a very nice community, and I'm very grateful to everyone who supports me on the regular, whether it's here on YouTube or over on my Twitch. I appreciate all of you. You're an amazing bunch of people, and I know that you guys will be there to help me, and I will do my best to be there to help you guys as well. So that's the reason mental health is there. It's not for any other reason, but it is my goal to support fellow mental health sufferers through streaming. So that's what I do. Next question is, what is your opinion on fan arts, and would you like people to send you some? Hell yes. I love people who take the time to make fan art and support their friends. It's an amazing thing. I actually have some fan art already. One of my good friends, Gene Bloodfox, did a fan art, turned my Ribombee profile picture character, which you see in my intros, and it's also in my Discord as well, and things like that. She made a more humanoid version of that and made me like a humanoid character for me, which I now use as my desktop background. It's also my Pokemon Showdown background as well. And like my good friend Arcade Link made a hi emote for my Discord, so if you're not in there, go join it, go see it, go show Arcade some love as well. Arcade's amazing. They never asked for anything. They just did it because they wanted to support me, and it's awesome. Baby Bell also drew me like a Valentine's Ribombee, which was really sweet, really cute. I definitely enjoyed that. So yeah, people have sent me fan art. If you want to send me fan art, if you want to make some things for me, please do. I will tweet it out, I'll put it in my Discord, and I'll make sure everyone in my community appreciates it as much as I do. It's an amazing thing. I'm not used to people giving me stuff, so I might cry. I do apologize for that, but it's something that's a little bit normal for me, because it's an unknown factor to a lot of people. I've never celebrated my birthday or Christmas or anything, so kind of present giving has never really existed for me. So like that kind of thing is always difficult. So I might ask how much do I owe you, but it's honestly because I'm just not used to it. So please don't be offended. I know I accidentally almost upset one person once, but yeah. If you want to send me fan art, please do. I would love it forever. Next question. Do you still miss teaching, and would you consider going back? So, for those who are not in the know of this, I am actually a fully qualified teacher, hence my name. But I quit teaching at the tail end of 2018, and since then I now work in security. Do I miss teaching? I miss the kids more than anything else, because I taught a lot of amazing kids and I'm very grateful to all of them. I've still got a lot of stuff in my room on my walls of all the things the kids have drawn for me or made for me and things like that, and I love it. It does make me miss it sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, but I don't really miss the politics of the classroom. I don't miss all of the psychological abuse I dealt with in the classroom and things like that. Would I consider going back? If the profession gets better, then yes. But right now, for me, teaching such a horrible profession, especially for a young male teaching the younger kids, it's so difficult, and I don't think I'd want to do it. I don't think I would put myself through it again, because I became obsessed with the classroom. Even in my holiday periods, I'd still be obsessed with the classroom. And it sucks. Like, it really sucked. I'm not gonna lie, it was a horrible thing for me. But yeah, like, I don't think I would go back in the classroom as a teacher. I might go back in the classroom as like a TA, a teaching assistant occasionally, but I've heard from quite a few of my TA friends that they get treated even worse, so I'm not sure I can really afford to go back. I'm loving security right now, it's a great job. I have met a lot of different sorts of people over the years, and I appreciate all of them. So yeah, I think it's fine. I think staying in security is going to be a thing for a good while yet. I don't know about going back to the classroom just yet. Alright, next question. Are you in a relationship? So I don't tend to talk about my relationships on Twitch or YouTube, just because it can get a little bit odd. Like, I've had some of my streamer friends who have found out who their partner is, kind of get stalked, and things like that. That has happened before. But right now, I'll just be honest about it from here. I was actually in a relationship till earlier this month, but that relationship fell through. My ex was kind of doing some things that she shouldn't have been, and various things like that. But yeah, so ultimately, that relationship's over. So technically, I'm single, ready to mingle now, ladies. Yeah. As far as it goes for me, I'm not in a relationship right now. Nor do I particularly need to be in a relationship right now, nor do I necessarily want one. I'm very much an independent person, so being in a relationship for me can be a little bit odd. It doesn't help my mentality sometimes. But yeah, as far as the question goes, no. Not in a relationship, no plans to be. Alright, Next question. This came from the owner of the Pixel 1 server that I play on. Why are you such a dingus? Cool and I tend to meme at each other quite a lot. He calls me a dingus all the time, and I say to Cool, well, at least I'm not that much of a genius. I break the Pixel 1 server. There's a lot of joking around going on between Cool and me, so I thought I'd put it in here. I'm not a dingus as far as I'm concerned. We'll let Cool be the dingus instead of me. But yeah, oh, good fun. It's a pleasure to have. No, it's a pleasure to have Cool in my Discord server. I do enjoy the Discord, the Pixel 1 server I play on. I am actually planning on doing a video for that relatively soon. It will probably be done after this, I expect, once I get some time. But yeah, all right. Next question. If you could safely play in a sturdy cardboard castle, would you? To be honest, with my big fat ass, I don't think any cardboard castle would ever be sturdy. So, I think the obvious answer to this question is no. I'm a little bit bulky for that one. I'm not small and skinny like some people I know. But yeah, no. Simple answer. Alright, next question. What's been your favorite Pokemon to use in drafts? So we're more into the more content side of me now. So, I have a lot of Pokemon that I have a lot of affinity for since I've drafted them. I think my favorite Pokemon I've used is like a toss-up between Ribombee, because it's my mascot, obviously. In fact, it's kind of a bit of a meme of who's going to snipe Ribombee from me this time. Even though I very rarely plan to draft it sometimes. But yeah, that's always funny to me that people do that. But I really like Mudsdale. I think Mudsdale is a fantastic defensive Pokemon, especially on the physical side. Offensive-wise, I enjoyed using Mega Medicham in GPL Season 0. I enjoyed using Cortana back then as well. I think consistently it's always been like Ribombee, Mudsdale, Noivern. Like, Noivern's got quite a lot of use for me as well. I generally like my big power picks. I'm using Zeraora in the current GPL season right now, and I'm really enjoying it. Using Mega Venusaur for the first time in the SPPL, I'm kind of enjoying using that. But yeah, like, favorite Pokemon, probably Victini or Mudsdale, or Noivern maybe. Ribombee is always going to be there. Ribombee's a biased pick though, so, you know. But yeah, those are my main ones. Next question. Will I ever go back to Pokemon or Pro anytime soon? So, when I first started making content stream-wise, I played Pokemon and Pokemon Revolution Online, or more commonly as Pro. However, I've had a lot of issues with both games. Pokemon's community can be very toxic. There's a lot of players in there that think they're the be-all and end-all when they're actually not, and they kind of belittle other players. There's a lot of issues going on there. And for PRO, I have more issues with the staff than I have with the actual community. I think the community is okay. I used to stream it a lot. That's how quite a lot of people found me. I got double rated by Celestro and exclusives at one time, and then quite a few of my viewers from then have stuck around. As far as it goes for me, I don't think I'll ever go back to either. I think both games for me have just got a lot of issues, and these issues are just not going to get any better for them. I don't see me ever going back, as far as I'm concerned. I actually probably should just delete both off my computer, because I don't think I'll ever be using them again. But yeah, no, unlikely. Next question. Will I make playthroughs for YouTube? This is a question that's come up quite a few times recently. I've had a few people reaching out to me asking me if I would like to do YouTube playthroughs with them. My issue with doing playthroughs for YouTube is the amount of recording and editing it takes to make playthrough episodes. It kind of feels like it's too much work for me. I tend to like keeping my competitive stuff on this channel and doing my playthroughs on Twitch, because my playthroughs are much more casual. I'm able to engage and interact with you guys a lot more if I'm doing playthroughs on stream. And it's definitely cool. You guys get opportunities to nickname my Pokemon, which you wouldn't really do if I was just doing a solo playthrough with me recording in front of a camera. there's like a lot of more opportunities for playthroughs on Twitch than there are for playthroughs on YouTube for me. I feel like the Let's Plays for like YouTube kind of doesn't really exist anymore. Like you see a lot of like the old Let's Players like A-Drive and Padders and those guys, they're not doing Let's Plays anymore, right? So I feel like the Let's Play era for YouTube is dead. I would not make a playthrough for YouTube right now. I feel like I'd probably get bored making it, so I don't think I would really enjoy it that much. Next question. This one came up on Twitter, and I really love this. This came from Power Punch. If you could change the starter trios in each generation, what would you change them to? So, Punch and I were talking about this on Twitter because Punch went really crazy and actually just even changed the Fire, Water, Grass core, which was an interesting one for me. I feel like objectively, in terms of game balance, I don't know how much I'd want to mess with Fire, Water, Grass core. But I might sort of change it away from like 2-stage evolutions or 3-stage evolutions, you know, things like that. We have 3-stage evolutions, of course, in all of them right now. I would like to change it. So I've actually got the Pokedex by generation on another screen here. So if you see me looking over, that's what I'm looking at. The thing is with Gen 1 is that as far as starters go, there are not very many like 2-stage evolutions for each of the types, right? The only 2-stage grass evolution in the game is Execute and Exeggutor, which is cool. I would totally use that. I don't see a problem why we couldn't use that as like the grass type. Water type, you're kind of a little bit stuck here. You're like stuck with like Psyduck and Golduck, or like Tentacle and Tentacruel. I'm just trying to see if there's any waters. There's Seal and Dugong, but I'm not sure how I'd feel about that. There's Magikarp and Gyarados, of course. Shelter Cloyster would have been okay, but it's a stone evolution, so I'm not sure how I'd feel about that. Krabby and Kingler would probably be Power Punch's pick for a 2-stage evolution starter. There's like Staryu and Starmie, which would actually be kind of cool, but that's also a stone evolution. Goldeen and Seaking's kind of forgotten about. I think if I had to be honest, I would probably choose Gyarados. Like, Magikarp Gyarados is really interesting. There is also Slowpoke and Slowbro, which would also be an interesting choice, but that needs to evolve with a Shelter, so I'd rather not. But yeah, I would probably choose either Kingler or Gyarados. I would lean more towards Gyarados. For Firestarter, you're torn between like Ninetales, Arcanine, and Rapidash. Of those three, I would probably take Arcanine. So I think I would pick for Gen 1, it would be Arcanine, Gyarados, and Exeggutor, just to keep the Fire, Water, Grass cores. Alright, Gen 2, we currently have Meganium, Typhlosion, Feraligatr. Honestly, like, I kind of want to keep Typhlosion and Feraligatr, because I actually think those are really good starters. But I would want to change Meganium, because I feel like Meganium is really lackluster. The problem is, though, for grass types in Gen 2, there isn't really that many. So, like, because you can't obviously make Celebi a starter, because that's a mythical. Like, the only other ones are, like, Hoppip, Skiploom, and Jumpluff, which would be really weak. And Sunkern and Sunflora, but that's only 2-stage. So, I think, honestly, in Gen 2, you're kind of forced into keeping the same. Unless you change, like, Meganium to Jumpluff. Which, to be honest, I still would prefer Meganium. So I think, honestly, keeping the Gen 2 starters makes the most sense for Generation 2. Let's go down to Gen 3. Now, Gen 3 I wouldn't change because I think these are the best starter trio of the generations. I think this is the only generation for me where I would legitimately pick all 3 starters. And not have an issue with it. Like, I like Sceptile, I like Blaziken, and I like Swampert. And looking down the list, like, yes, you could potentially make Ludicolo one of them, but the fact that it's a water and a grass type's a little bit awkward. You could potentially do Shiftry. Seedot, Nuzleaf, and Shiftry would be an interesting one, but I prefer Sceptile. And like, looking down the grass type list, there's Cacturn, which isn't that great. There's Credilli, which is a fossil, of course. Tropius, but that's a single stage, so there's not really that much going on for Gen 3, so I feel like they have the best Pokemon in the Gen 3 starter slot, so I don't think I would even want to change those. Gen Gen 4 is Torterra, Infernape, and Empoleon. Now, for me personally, I kind of like these starters, maybe except Torterra. Torterra is not really feeling that good for me. Like, compared to Infernape and Empoleon, competitively, Torterra is very weak. But Infernape and Empoleon see a lot of competitive usage. So maybe perhaps replace Torterra with Roserade, which might seem a little bit odd because Roselia is a previous gen Pokemon. But Budew evolves into Roselia into Roserade, so it does kind of make sense. I would be okay with seeing Roserade as a starter. Just trying to look through if there are any other grass types. Not really. No, so I feel like if I would change any of that generation, I would change Torterra to Roserade. And that's it. I don't think I would change anything else. Alright, moving into Gen 5, which in my opinion has some of the worst starters in the game. I would keep Serperior. I think Serperior is the only starter in that generation I actually like. I don't really like Emboar or Samurott, to be honest. I'm sick of firefighting. I don't want to see it. I'm just looking through at fire types in Gen 5. There is Darmanitan, of course, which is very strong, so I wouldn't be surprised to see that as a starter. There's also the Litwick line, which is actually kind of an interesting one to choose for a starter. I don't think most people would pick Fire Ghost, but Fire Ghost is actually a very good offensive typing. So I think it's okay to pick it. Because otherwise you're looking at Volcarona, which evolves super late, so I'm not sure I would ever pick that. But yeah, like, I would change Emboar to either Darmanitan or Chandelure. Probably Chandelure to keep the 3-stage evolutions a thing. But yeah, and then as far as water type go, like, the Simic Monkey's not great. Oh, Seismitoad. Seismitoad's in Gen 5. So, yeah, I would change Samurott to Seismitoad, and I would change Emboar to Chandelure. That would be my pick for those starters. I think that would be insane. That would be a great starter trio. Okay, Gen 6 has Chestnut, Delphox, and Greninja. I think I'm in a lot of people's camp here where I feel like Greninja's the only good one of these three. Although I do not mind Chestnut, right? I actually think Chestnut is okay. I just hate Delphox's design. I feel like they messed up with that evolution line, so I would want to find a way to change that. Could put Talonflame in. Talonflame would be kind of cool. I'd like to see Talonflame there. Aside from that, there isn't actually that many fire types in Gen 6. It was very void of fire types. Like, the only other fire type I'm seeing is Pyroar and Volcanion, but Volcanion's a legendary, of course, so it's literally Talonflame, Pyroar, or Delphox, and of those three, I'd just pick Talonflame. I think the other two, like, maybe change Chestnut, but, like, there isn't a 3-stage grass evolution line other than Chestnut. It's only the Trevenant line, the Gourgeist line, and the Go-Goat line that are the other grass types, so I think you'd forced into keeping Chestnut, if I'm being honest. So yeah, I feel like I would change Delphox to Talonflame 100%, and I would keep the other two perhaps as they are. Generation 7's where a lot of it gets interesting, because I actually really like Primarina and Incineroar, but I don't like Decidueye very much. I think Decidueye is kind of lackluster to me. So it's a case of looking at what I would replace them with. Serena jumps out at me as a really, really good competitive mon with 3-stage evolution line. Other than that, it's only like single-stage grass types anyway, because it's only Kartana, Tapu Bulu, and Dhelmise that are left. And then there's like Lurantis and Shiinotic, the only other grass types in the gen. So yeah, I feel like you would replace Decidueye with Serena, and I feel like you're pretty happy with that. It's kind of sad because Decidueye actually looks cool. I just wish it was better battle-wise, so I don't know how much I would keep it. And as far as Gen 8 goes, I actually don't mind the starters at all. I think Rillaboom is a little bit lacking, especially compared to the other two. Cinderace is phenomenal. And I'm actually warming to Inteleon a lot more than I was before, since I've seen people use it in competitive. It's a very interesting starter Pokemon. I really like its Gigantamax design, where it's like the top of a sniper tower with a water pistol. I think that's really cool. I think that's very nicely done. I think Rillaboom's Gigantamax should have been what Rillaboom actually looked like. I would have been much happier with that. And Cinderace, of course, is awesome because it's a soccer player or a football player. I love both, of course, so I use both terms because I have American friends, so I want to make sure they understand as well. But yeah, in terms of could I replace them? I mean, I feel like it would be OP to put Applin as a starter. I feel like Game Freak have always been too against putting Dragon type as a starter, although they did do Fairy with Primarina, so I'm not sure. But there's not a lot of grass types in the game. I mean, there's two of the mythicals that are coming out in the DLC, which is the new one that was revealed for Pokemon Day, whose name I forgot. Is it Zarude? And then there's Calyrex, of course, for the second Clown Tundra DLC. But to be honest, like, there's not really anything I would be able to change them with. So I feel like even though Rillaboom is not that great in my opinion, and I think Inteleon could be better, I think these starters would probably have to stay the same just because there's not really anything to replace them with. So yeah, that's going to be that question, and there is one more question which I left to the end of this video because I know Tyler said this is a bit of a joke. Can you link me in the description of this video? So I'm actually going to take this in a more different way. Obviously you guys are asking me a lot of questions, but I wanted to do something more for you guys in this video as well. So down below there's going to be 2 additional sections to my video, as well as the normal Twitch, Twitter and Discord plug, and the music accreditation. Shoutouts to Glitch X City for this awesome music you're hearing in the background, by the way. But yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to link all the YouTube channels in one section, and all the Twitch streams in another section. All of these guys that I watch all of their videos, and I try and be there for all of their streams as much as I possibly can. These guys are amazing content creators. I think you guys will enjoy them as well. So I will link all of them in the description of this video. So it's going to be a very long description this week. But yeah, they'll all be down there. So if you haven't, for some reason, checked any of these guys out, I strongly encourage you to do so. I appreciate all the support you give me, but let's spread the love around as well. I think it'll be amazing for a lot of people to network together and support each other's content. So yeah, that's what I do. So yeah, they're all down there down below, and that's all the questions I have for you this month. So as I said at the start of the video, if you've got a question for me, whether it's in light of this video or my previous ones, go to my Discord, go to my Twitter, ask away, feel free. If I get a minimum of 10 questions a month, I will keep doing these videos because it shows that you guys want to ask me stuff, which is cool. I appreciate all of it, so I'm going to get on out of here, so thank you so much for watching. My name is Ribombee Teacher, I'm your coach at the Royal Bournemouth Ribombees. Stay safe, stay awesome, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.